Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live, you're watching News 6 at 4 p.m.
We start with breaking news at 4. If you are in the area of Edgewater Drive and Lee Road today, or someone you know, you're likely aware of a huge law enforcement presence around a tattoo shop in that area. An update now from Orlando Police says that there is a barricaded suspect there. Traffic in that area is being diverted. Again, this is all happening near Edgewater Drive and Lee Road. Your Orange County community correspondent Tylisa Hampton was the first reporter on scene this afternoon. Tylisa, you were there when SWAT went in. You heard a loud boom. What else can you tell us?
Well, Ginger, after that loud boom, SWAT has since come out. They have reopened a portion of Lee Road down here so we can pan it that way so you can see. However, as for that portion of Edgewater, that is very much still active with police. That has still been blocked off from earlier. Now, we do know that if we zoom in, you can still see those windows appear to be blown out. Now, we also know that that appears to have been a tattoo shop. And as people were around here earlier, I spoke to some of them, and they said they heard multiple gunshots even before police got here. So we do know there appears to be a lot of activity in this area. There was a barricaded suspect here, and after SWAT came out, we didn't see anybody come out with them in the front of the building, but we have since been told that there is an exit on the back of the building. So we're not sure yet what happened on the back side of the building, but we do know as far as the front goes, no one came out aside from SWAT going in and out of there. But officials have been telling people to steer clear, but since then people have been, they've seen how tense it is out here. That has all kind of died down a little bit, and SWAT even appears to have, a portion of them appears to have left, but they are still asking people to be cautious around here. And again, that scene still active with police presence. You can see the caution tape up. You can see how much police are out here and their lights are still going off. Reporting in Orlando, I'm Tylisa Hampton, back to you.
Yeah, still a very big police presence. Tylisa, I know you'll stay out there and keep us updated. Thank you for that. We're also following more breaking news now. A truck hauling an excavator slammed into a bridge, shutting down the Florida Turnpike for hours. Traffic backed up for miles, leaving some drivers stranded. News 6's Laverne McGee is live on the scene now. Laverne, what's the latest from the Turnpike?
Well, let me tell you, the Turnpike is open. If you can take a look behind me there, it has been for some time, but they finally, just recently, within a half hour, got that excavator removed from under the bridge. My photographer Joelle and I were here all afternoon watching them try to remove this thing. They closed this road here, which is 301, and that's because they're scared of any falling debris or any type of structural issues with this. So they're still continuing to work on that, which is why this road is closed.
Did you see what happened?
No, I was inside when it happened, but it's been stuck under there for almost 3 hours now.
James Blake works at the Florida Citrus Center in Wildwood, close to the bridge that was hit by an excavator Friday morning. The boom from the crane hitting each of the concrete girders as it passed under Highway 301 near Wildwood. Traffic backed up for hours. Nick Fish was caught in the congestion, exiting right before the bridge.
Very unusual and scary because it's a bridge, you know what I mean?
While the Turnpike reopened around 1 o'clock, both directions of Highway 301 are closed for repairs with no timeline for when it will reopen.
It's been stuck there, so, and they have a ton of workers out here.
It is really amazing that there were no injuries, because when you think about it, a tractor trailer hauling this huge piece of equipment, this excavator, going there under that bridge where the Turnpike is, and getting stuck, that piece of the excavator stuck there, took them hours to get it taken out of there, finally out, and now, once again, like I said, they cannot reopen this because they've got to make sure that it's safe. So they don't want cars going under that bridge there. You can see the Turnpike there. They're going north and south there, but under it, they want to make sure that they have those beams and everything covered and no debris is falling. And we'll, of course, keep you updated on this as developments happen. In Wildwood, Laverne McGee, News 6.
Not the Friday people were planning on. Laverne, thank you. A felon out of jail for 6 months is on the run tonight. Investigators say he is wanted for beating a woman in the middle of A1A in Daytona Beach. News 6's Mike Valenti joins us now live. And Mike, you spoke to a chief deputy who actually just stumbled upon this while it was happening yesterday.
Yeah, Ginger, that's right. We spoke to that chief deputy. He described this as a brazen act, driving and seeing a man beating and dragging a woman. The incident apparently starting here in the middle of a very busy A1A Thursday and continuing through this parking lot.
White male, bald head, light colored shirt.
I've been doing this a long time and I've dealt with a lot of bad people. This is a bad guy.
Did you see it? Oh yeah. Turned around and he was dragging her. That's okay. I'm glad I was here.
We're taking the same route right now that Chief Deputy Brian Henderson said he took Thursday when he was driving home from work. He said that he saw a woman who appeared visibly upset, and he immediately knew something was wrong.
I see this guy come across A1A towards her, and she attempts to run from him, and he reached out to grab her as she was nearing the sidewalk, and they both fell into the traffic lane.
That's when Chief Deputy Brian Henderson gets out of his truck.
By the time I was able to get there, he had actually drug her into an alleyway and was forcefully dragging her towards the parking garage.
You can see in this newly released surveillance video, it appears the suspect, who's since been identified as Scott Knowlton, is hitting the woman and physically forcing her to come with him. Henderson recounted that when Knowlton saw him, Knowlton dropped a backpack and ran. Henderson and another deputy went to check on the woman.
Where you hurt at?
My face.
Let me see.
I feel like my chin.
Yeah, your chin's a little cut up.
All she continued to tell me is he's going to kill me.
Inside the backpack, according to deputies, a gun, meth, and fentanyl.
We got to get him off the street.
So there's now a $1,000 reward for any information that leads to Knowlton's arrest. He was already wanted on several outstanding warrants. Now he's wanted, in addition to those warrants, for charges of kidnapping and battery. We're live in Daytona Beach tonight. I'm News 6, Mike Valenti. Back to you.
He's in the water. Dude, just give the f up.
Deputies say they have caught a stolen truck suspect who ran from them and out in a state park swamp for more than 2 days. They shared this body cam video of the search happening. Deputies say they spotted 37-year-old Earl Dory and a stolen truck on Wednesday. When they tried to arrest him, he got out of the car and took off to De Leon Springs State Park. Investigators say he pointed a gun at them and himself while they went after him. This afternoon, Volusia deputies say a canine unit was able to catch him. They shared these pictures on Facebook of the arrest. Dory is now facing several charges. The death of a Central Florida 18-year-old on a cruise ship is raising questions. The senior at Temple Christian School was on a 6-day cruise at the time. Your Titusville community correspondent James Barbero has spent the week speaking to neighbors who are hoping the FBI finally shed some light on what really happened.
A week after a teenager died on a cruise, authorities still aren't saying how Anna Kepner died. From Anna's neighborhood to her school, everyone I'm talking to is wondering, when will the FBI give this heartbroken community some answers?
What happened to this poor girl, you know?
Friday, I met neighbor Joe Souza taking a walk on Anna's street. Like many, he's following news about the death. With Miami's medical examiner putting the time of death as Friday, November the 7th, the ship she was on, the Carnival Horizon, returned to Miami the following day.
It was on a cruise ship. The girl was found dead in a room. So who knows what happened, right? The FBI is the only one that's going to find out.
Each time this week when I asked, the FBI told me it had nothing new to report. Meanwhile, Anna's car is still here at Temple Christian School.
The weather's holding the flowers up beautifully and people are still stopping by, visiting.
Parent Dana Wolf told me no one's hearing anything new on campus either.
Answers would be good because it's still been over, a week and nobody knows much other than what the newsers are telling you, and that's just it was a death.
And there's a lot of rumors out there.
Absolutely. And within this time frame, there's always a little more details of something coming out about it, and they're still just keeping it as simple as possible.
Anna's Celebration of Life service will be Thursday next week here at the Grove Church. Until then, I'll keep asking investigators for any updates about the case. As soon as we learn any new details, we will share them with you too, right here on News 6 and ClickOrlando.com. In Brevard County, I'm your Titusville community correspondent, James Sparvero, News 6.
A live look now over downtown Orlando from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope camera. We want to give you a heads up. It's setting up to be another busy weekend in downtown Orlando. When isn't it, right? Vans Warped Tour will be at Camping World Stadium. It's a traveling musical festival and cultural phenomenon that's making its much anticipated return. The Music Fest ran from 1995 to 2019. Then they announced it would be back this year. The two-day festival features more than 100 bands, including A Day to Remember, which is from Ocala, and All Time Low, 303, and Boys Like Girl. Doors open at 12 tomorrow afternoon and 11 a.m. on Sunday. Orlando marks the last of 3 Warped Tour events going on this year. The other 2 festivals were in Washington, D.C. and California. Meantime, a yearly tradition is returning to Ocoee. The Ocoee Music Fest is tonight and tomorrow at Bill Breeze Park. This is video from a previous year. Free concert will have performances from brothers Osborne and Dylan Carmichael. The event also includes fair rides and vendors, so fun for everyone. More homes could soon be coming to an area that's already over capacity on traffic. We'll explain why coming up. Plus, a live look at the mall at Millenia, where we are kicking off Angel Tree with the Salvation Army and BFAR Contracting. What you can do to bring joy this holiday season. That's next. And of course, we're staying on top of that breaking news situation. There's a barricaded suspect investigation going on right in Orlando right now. What we're learning next.
News 6 Insider is sponsored by Orange County Library System.
We are staying on top of breaking news right now. We're seeing a lot of police presence in the area of Edgewater Drive and Lee Road. It's right near a tattoo shop. Police are calling this a barricaded suspect investigation. Our Tylisa Hampton is in the area gathering more information for us. As soon as we learn more, we will keep you updated. And breaking news just into our newsroom, the Marion County Sheriff's Office says all 911 and non-emergency phone lines are down. They say if you need help, you must text 911 from your cell phone. They say text is the only way to get help right now. Of course, we're going to continue to follow this and figure out what happened and bring you updates until service is restored. The holiday season is already here, which means kickoff of a tradition with the Salvation Army's Angel Tree program. News 6 is teaming up with BFAR Contracting to bring Christmas to thousands of children and seniors in Central Florida. But we can't do it without you, so we need your help. News 6 anchor Lisa Bell is live at the mall at Millenia, where tags filled with needs and wishes are ready to be picked up on those angel trees. Lisa.
That's right, Ginger. As you know, this is a day we look forward to every year, and the results that we'll see in just a few short weeks are nothing short of a Christmas miracle. Last year, we got results for 6,000 angels in our community. Here's how it all comes together.
It is a special day. Anchors Matt Austin and Lisa Bell are at the mall at Millenia.
From kickoff day in mid-November, people across Central Florida spent the next 4 weeks adopting the perfect angel.
I have a 9-year-old boy and a 5-year-old girl.
From trees at the mall at Millenia, Chick-fil-A restaurants, and online.
Without this, they would have nothing under the tree at all. Oh my gosh.
Opening their hearts and wallets, all to make the magic happen for 6,000 kids and seniors. Their name, age, and clothing size listed on their wish list.
And it doesn't matter what's in that bag. I know it's going to put a smile on my son's face.
All the gifts then purchased, packed, and delivered to the Salvation Army's so-called Joy Center for Distribution Day.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Y'all have a blessed day.
It's a day we at News 6 look forward to every year. Hundreds of bicycles rolled in and rolled out.
Pick one teddy bear per shop.
Yeah. Along with stuffed stockings and bags full of gifts.
Oh, she's gonna love this.
We met one mom last year who was battling brain cancer.
Blue is her favorite color. She loves bears. So we're gonna do a white teddy bear with blue.
Dozens of elves making their list and checking it twice.
You know, it's the season of giving, and I said, let me find something to do and give my time.
Giving countless hours to match the right gifts with the right angel before heading out to their new home.
A unicorn. What I teach all my kids, Christmas is not about receiving gifts. Just be thankful that you was able to see Christmas.
And I am joined now by Roger and Deanne Glick, the new commanders for the command in Orlando for the Salvation Army. Welcome. You moved from Baltimore, so you are new to Central Florida, but not new to the Angel Tree program.
No, that's right. We've been Salvation Army officers for 26 years, so it's not new at all.
Yeah, and already the work is clearly well underway to get ready for this year's Angel Tree program. I know you were telling me earlier you already are starting to build up the Joy Center so that we're ready to go on Distribution Day.
Absolutely. The Joy Center has been identified, and the staff are excited and already planning how things are going to go, so we're excited for that.
And so once people adopt an angel, they have until when to return their gifts?
December 5th. We will be here at the mall all season, and December 5th will be the last day.
Okay, and Distribution Day is just shortly after that?
Correct. December 16 is Distribution Day.
Okay, so we got a lot of work ahead of us, but Ginger, as you mentioned, we have some amazing partners as always. So I think once again, we're going to make some miracles happen for some 6,000 angels in our community. We're going to send it back to you now in the studio.
Lisa, we always make it happen, but it could not happen without this fantastic community we call home here in Central Florida. Look forward to more of your reports. Thank you. All right, time now for a look at our forecast. Meteorologist Michelle Morgan is getting us started. And boy, what a difference. We started the week out really cold, and now you said it was going to have a gradual warm up, and here we are.
Yes, we are here, Ginger. You know, temperatures warmed up nicely into the upper 70s across the region. We're still in the upper 70s, 76 in Orlando as we take a live look outside. Looking gorgeous, mainly clear skies. This is from our Light Orlando delivering Hope camera, and humidity sitting around 40%. So still dealing with some dry air over over the area. For the rest of Central Florida, 73 in DeLand, 72 in Daytona Beach and New Smyrna Beach, and 74 degrees in Melbourne. Official sunset today is 5:32. If you are heading out to the Magic game, we're looking pretty good when the game starts at the Kia Center around 7, 71 degrees. End of the game will be around 65 and no rain in the forecast. You may need a light jacket later on. For the rest of us here, we're looking at our low temperatures falling in the upper 40s in Ocala, lower 50s in the Villages and Wildwood, 56 in Orlando and Wedgefield, and 62 degrees in Melbourne. So here's a look at your hour-by-hour forecast for tomorrow.
Your forecast is sponsored by Renewal by Andersen.
Tomorrow featuring plenty of sunshine, 57 around 7, 66 around 9, and 73 degrees around 11, with daytime highs reaching the lower 80s tomorrow afternoon. But if you are heading out dark and early tomorrow morning, many of us will be dealing with patchy dense fog across much of the peninsula, especially confined along the I-4 corridor. So that will be through 6, at least through lasting through 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. So if you are traveling between that time frame, make sure you're allowing extra traveling time. Now your forecast highs here, as I mentioned, 80 in Orlando, Wedgefield, 79 in Titusville, the Villages, Leesburg, Claremont, 77 degrees in Daytona Beach, and 78 in Melbourne. If you have any plans tomorrow, forecast is looking fantastic. If you are thinking about a beach day, look at this. It's going to feel comfortable. Water temperature still mild in the lower 70s. The UV index as well as the rip current risk will be moderate with winds pretty light out of the north between 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, clouds and rain forecast, keeping things clear through the overnight hours. As we head into tomorrow, starting off with sunshine, and as we wrap up your Saturday afternoon, we may see a few clouds pop in and out, but all in all, looking pretty quiet across the area there. So I'll leave you here with your 7-day forecast for tomorrow. If you're now tuning in, watch out for patchy dense fog early in the morning. We'll see a daytime high of 80 degrees. Sunday will be pretty much a copy and paste forecast with a high of 81. Also look out for that patchy dense fog. And as we go through the next several days, temperatures are expected to remain above average. 81 degrees on Monday, even Tuesday a little bit warmer, 82. And we're going to continue to warm things up. 83 on Wednesday, 84 on Thursday, and then 83 degrees on Friday, Ginger.
All right, Michelle, looking good. Thank you. Well, it's an area that many say is already seeing a lot of out of control growth and traffic troubles. And now, even more homes could be coming to this area. We're listening to concerns from drivers next.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Light Orlando, delivering hope together.
More homes could be coming to an area already congested with traffic. In the city of St. Cloud, we told you how 2 new subdivisions would add more than 100 homes to the area. One of them would be off an already heavily congested road, but now only about half of those homes will be built. The City Council met last night approving only the subdivision on Old Hickory Tree Road as part of the consent agenda. The other one off of busy Narcoossee Road was pulled from the agenda at the request of the developer. People in the area tell us they are concerned about the impact more people and cars will have in the city.
It's too much. We don't have the infrastructure. The traffic's insane. It's just getting out of control. Quit building. Get infrastructure. And then maybe that'll alleviate some of the traffic.
The vote came just weeks after Osceola County approved building 289 new homes near Narcoossee and the Orange County line. Well, this could be the solution to getting more affordable housing on the market. Coming up, the robot that's building 3D printed homes and the 2 men who created it. Plus, an emotional 911 call.
911, what's the status of your emergency?
My dad won't wake up.
How old are you, buddy?
8.
You're 8? Okay.
What a local sheriff is planning to do for that little boy who had to call 911 when his dad overdosed. That's next. We are staying on top of breaking news this afternoon. A dramatic scene unfolding in northwest Orlando. SWAT has moved in on a barricaded suspect inside a tattoo shop. This is happening near Edgewater Drive and Lee Road. Your Orange County community correspondent Tylisa Hampton was the first reporter on the scene. Tylisa, you were there when a lot of this action went down. Tell us how this all unfolded.
No, when we got here around 2:30, what we saw is the arrival of SWAT. At that point, the glass that you can see under this tattoo shop, that had already been blown out. There were other people out here, and they said that they heard multiple gunshots. Now, when we were also out here, we saw SWAT go in. We heard a loud boom. A couple minutes went by. Then SWAT did come back out. Now, we have been told that there's another side of the building towards the back, so people could have been taken out the back. Although we didn't see anybody out the front, again, people could have been taken out the back. And we have also, in the meantime, received video of people getting carted out of the back. So I should mention that as well. Now, since all of this has happened, they have reopened Lee Road. However, we have seen a number of Orange County Sheriff's Office racing down this road. We're going to point down this way to Edgewater Drive. We have seen them race down there. Now, I should also mention that because the scene is still active, people are still around this scene, okay? So some people are still very concerned about their family members who were inside that tattoo shop. So this is not just a situation that you're watching on TV. For some people, this is something really happening in real life, that they're concerned about their family members and do want answers. We know that Orlando Police Department, they will be giving a press conference later on. We have a crew there to give those updates, so hopefully we can have some answers soon. Reporting, I'm your community correspondent, Tylisa Hampton. Back to you.
All right, Tylisa, thank you for the update. We now know the Orlando police officer whose high-speed chase ended with a homeless man getting hit and killed will not face any charges. News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez has been reviewing the decision not to prosecute and spoke with a friend of the man killed about this.
Oh, there was a guy under your truck.
Under my truck? That was the moment Detective Christopher Moulton learned he had run over a man while trying to pull over Darnell Bargnair for not having a readable license plate. The chase reached 90 miles per hour. It ended here on Indiana Street where Gerald Neal was standing. Bargnair hit him as he jumped the curb before hitting this pole behind me, and then Moulton's car ran over Neal just seconds later. Moulton got out of his truck and chased Bargnair. Once Neal was spotted by another officer, he was taken to a hospital where he later died. Prosecutors say the injuries that killed the 56-year-old were caused by Bargnair, so he's being charged with vehicular homicide. But the state attorney's office found there wasn't enough evidence to charge Moulton.
You have to look at, well, what caused that crash?
Attorney Evan Self, who isn't affiliated with this case, says if the prosecutor felt a conviction wasn't possible, the right decision was made.
What I think the state was doing is looking at the police officer's actions, and maybe at some point his decision making wasn't the greatest. He shouldn't have perhaps have continued this, but the actual cause of the crash and then the cause of the injury was really caused by the defendant leaving and fleeing.
Those who knew Neal and were there that night feel otherwise.
If it wasn't for him leaving his truck on top of Gerald for 33 minutes, he would have never died. He would have survived the little dragging from the first car. They needed to charge because he was wrong.
OPD released a statement saying Moulton is still on alternative duty pending an internal investigation into any policy and procedure violations. In Orlando, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
My dad told me to use this thing that would, if he wouldn't wake up, it would save him, but nothing happened.
That heartbreaking 911 call in Volusia County. This 8-year-old boy had to report his dad's drug overdose. The father now faces charges of child endangerment. News 6's Troy Campbell spoke to the Volusia County Sheriff about the emotional call for help.
Yeah, Sheriff Mike Chitwood says the father put his son in an unthinkable situation. On that 911 call, which is hard to listen to, you can hear that boy plead for help.
911, what's the status of your emergency?
My dad won't wake up.
How old are you, buddy?
8.
You're 8? Okay.
In this call to 911 from Tuesday afternoon, you can hear a young boy from inside his Edgewater home pleading for help after his father became unconscious from an apparent drug overdose.
Can you see if he's breathing?
Yeah.
He is breathing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's good. Can you yell to your dad to see if he'll wake up? Can you just say, Daddy, wake up?
I even tried hitting him.
You tried hitting him and he didn't wake up?
Investigators say 44-year-old Daniel Johnson told his son earlier in the day to administer Narcan on him if something were to happen to him while he was consuming several different types of illegal drugs. In the call, you can hear the boy say he attempted to do just that.
His dad told me to use this thing that would, if he wouldn't wake up, it would save him, but nothing happened.
My God, you're doing dope and you want your 8-year-old kid to revive you.
Volusia Sheriff Mike Chitwood says it's unfathomable the child was taught how to administer Narcan to his father.
Dad trained him to be his eyes and ears if he overdosed. I mean, really, think of that. Think of how sick and perverted and twisted that is. I'm going to use drugs, and if I die or if I come close to overdosing, my kid's going to save me.
The sheriff's office says there were several needles and other illegal drugs, including fentanyl and heroin, found near Johnson before he was checked out at the hospital and then taken to jail.
If I got him in a room for 2 minutes, I mean, I would be smacking his head against the wall, telling him, wake up. You're all he's got in this world. What are you doing?
Chitwood says the investigation showed the boy's mother also died of a drug overdose.
We're going to do something special for him. And my staff's working. I don't know if we get him up on Air One, we get him out on a boat, we do a combination of things.
And court records show Johnson is still in custody on charges of possession of drug paraphernalia and child endangerment. In Volusia County, I'm your community correspondent, Troy Campbell, News 6.
I declare Luminary Elementary School officially dedicated.
Orange County Public School leaders celebrated the opening of the county's newest school, Luminary Elementary in Orlando. The dedication ceremony was held this morning. It opened in August, just in time for the new school year. The ceremony included the presentation of the flag, students singing the national anthem, and the school song. Leaders who spoke include the school principal, school board chair, and deputy superintendent Jose Martinez.
Chair Jacobs referenced the $30 million that it cost to build this school. We spent that money because we believe in you. We believe in your future, and we want you to make sure that you have a beautiful new school to learn and grow in.
2 more schools are scheduled to open next year. Then the district will stop new construction until 2031. This is due to a drop in student enrollment. The district is projected to receive a $27 million reduction in state funding. Well, it may just be the solution to the housing affordability crisis. 2 Florida men have created a robot to build 3D homes. Consumer reporter Tiffany Salome joins us now to show us how it works.
Something I take a lot of pride in.
Bryce Vannensteel has been a pioneer of 3D printing for the last decade.
It's kind of builder bird, trying to lead on the front, making sure people are comfortable with us 3D printing houses.
But this is his biggest job yet.
So this is 100% 3D printed.
Yeah, totally wild. And then we filled the core solid and we went overboard because we were going to put a stone roof on it.
Okay.
Kind of for Swanee, totally cool. But the affordable housing opportunity was like, we want to kind of show going from stone to wood. And so leave it open and kind of, it's a little educational. And a lot of the intent is to find leadership with courage to use this technology.
So what is special about this technology?
The bit that it was made here in Jacksonville.
Bryce may be the brains behind the mission.
This was right at 16 hours, weighs about 22,000 pounds.
But Golem does all the hard work.
Golem does the heavy lifting.
The robot, that is, printing using concrete.
This is your track. What's super cool about the Golem robot arm goes in my Silverado, 150 pounds.
It's a portable operation that makes it a great solution to building more affordable homes.
We started this project because we know that Jacksonville has an affordable housing crisis.
Co-founder Catherine McAvoy says Jacksonville needs 3D printed housing.
We spent 2 years doing R&D. We checked all the different concrete options, all the different robot arm options, all the different hose options, and Bryce and Adam created the Golem robot. that is now ready to 3D print houses. And we've been ready for a while. Now what we need is somebody that in Jacksonville that's willing to take the risk to put a house up with it.
The cost of these homes could be 30 to 40% cheaper than traditional builds, something they believe can really make a difference in today's housing market.
This is a technology that Jacksonville needs to get behind. And once they embrace it and we move forward, I think that you'll find a lot of people will appreciate the fact that we can build it a better house for less money, faster than traditional build.
I am standing in like kind of a lot of blood, sweat, and tears around here. And if we want to maintain that lead that took courage for us to start, here's the baton. You know, we're working on an island solution on the robots. Super awesome, right? Like, but you know, so we're trying to stay ahead on a big picture because I think the crisis and, you know, using technology and not being scared of it, I ain't scared.
He doesn't sound scared. Did you know robots are revolutionizing home building with 3D printing technology in Brevard County? See how it all works in this story on clickorlando.com. Well, it is the most wonderful time and our favorite time of the year. Lisa.
Hey, Ginger, we are live at the Mall at Millenia where we are kicking off this year's Angel Tree program once again with the Salvation Army. Coming up, I'll tell you how you can get involved and help an angel in our community.
The Salvation Army's Angel Tree program kicks off today. It connects generous donors with kids and seniors who could use some extra holiday cheer. News 6 anchor Lisa Bell is live at the Mall at Millenia, one of the many places where you can adopt an angel. Lisa, this is really such a great time.
It is a great time. We have been meeting so many great people out here at the mall already. As I've mentioned, we are trying to get results for 6,000 angels in our community. So what you can do is you can come to a place like the mall at Millennia. You see the angel tree behind me, and you can adopt an angel. This one happens to be 3-year-old Alexis, who would like some educational items, books, and Mickey Mouse. They're into Mickey Mouse. So this is one of the many angels we are trying to help this year. Of course, we wouldn't be able to do it without our many partners here in Central Florida, and one of our biggest partners is BFAR Contracting. I'm joined now once again by the two Brians from BFAR. They're local celebrities now, Brian Farr and Brian Walton. You guys have been partners with us for the Angel Tree program for several years now. Why is this a program that you want to support year after year?
Well, we really enjoy it. One, it's our favorite time of the year for the office. We get together. We adopt 30, 40 kids every year. Share them, split them up, package them up. So our office right now kind of looks like a retail store. We got a lot of stuff there. But it's a great team building exercise. It's great camaraderie. We're able to do things that aren't work related. So, yeah. And we've just had a great partnership with Salvation Army. We believe in what they stand for and what they do, and that's why we've done this now 5 years in a row.
How many angels do you adopt, and do you prefer kids or seniors? Like what?
We normally take every special needs kid.
Okay.
This year was 30.
Wow.
Last year was 40, and it's been averaging somewhere around that.
And I know one of the best days, too, that we always look forward to is Distribution Day, and you guys are always there volunteering and helping haul out all of those gifts. What is that like for you?
I mean, it's great to see the joy on the parents' faces.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of them are just in a tough situation, and it's great that people are able to step up and help them.
Well,
it's the time of year where everybody needs it.
It's great that you guys are once again partnering with us, so we really appreciate that. Couldn't do it without our partners like BFAR Contracting. Ginger, we're going to send it back to you, but we are going to be out here all evening, so come on down if you have time. Say hello to us at Mall of Millennia and adopt an angel. We're going to send it back to you now.
Yeah, I love this time of year. Please tell the Bryans that we all say hello and we send our best and thank them for doing what they do every single year.
I will do that.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. All right. Time now for a look at our weekend forecast. We are all getting ready for it. Meteorologist Michelle Morgan joins us now. Michelle, everybody can always check out your 6 things to do.
Yes.
But now we can check out just what's happening out there right now.
Yeah, and it's gorgeous out there, Ginger. Look at this beautiful shot here out in Daytona Beach. We are sitting at 72 degrees. Now we're almost at sunset, but it feels very comfortable out there. Bit of a breeze out of the northeast at 11 miles per hour. Humidity still nice and low, sitting around 48%. Now, currently temperatures are in the lower 70s along our coastline all the way down to New Smyrna Beach, upper 70s out in Titusville as we head to our inland cities, 77 in Ocala, 75 in Wildwood, and that official sunset this evening, it's around 5:32. If you are heading out to the Magic game, the forecast is looking fantastic as they take on the Nets. We're looking at 71 degrees around 7 p.m. when the game starts at the Kia Center, and then end of the game, it will be dry with temperatures sitting around 65 degrees. Now your forecast lows, again, we're a little bit below average here, but we are getting closer to that normal spot. 56 in Orlando, Wedgefield, 54 in Claremont as we head to Brevard County, 63 in Cocoa Beach, and 62 in Melbourne with the chilly spot in the upper 40s out in Ocala. So here's a look at your hour-by-hour forecast for tomorrow.
Your forecast is sponsored by Ramjack.
So we'll be starting off a bit chilly in the 50s, but you'll have to watch out for patchy dense fog early, especially if you're commuting out to work. As we go through the day, as the day progresses, we're at around 71 around 10, 75 around noon. So we're going from jacket weather to t-shirt weather in the upper 70s, lower 80s across the peninsula. Your forecast highs, 80 in Orlando, Wedgefield, 79 in Kissimmee, 77 in New Smyrna Beach and Daytona Beach, and 78 in Melbourne as well as Mico. Now here's what I'm talking about as we take a look at the visibility map here. Fast forwarding things into the overnight hours, and notice that fog is going to try to build across much of the area, especially confined along the I-4 and I-95 corridor. So if you are taking any of those interstates, make sure you're allowing extra time. It could get pretty thick in many areas, lowering that visibility. Clouds and rain forecast looking fine as I fast forward things into tonight. Overnight conditions looking pleasant and quiet, and we'll be starting off our morning with abundant sunshine when that fog clears and a few clouds streaming in from the east, but many of us will see sunny skies, and heading into your Saturday night looking nice and quiet. Now temperatures are on the rise here as we take a look at the setup. A ridge of high pressure will continue to build over much of the U.S. Our temperatures are going going to respond as that air continues to sink and warm up. Fewer cold fronts, again, as we go through the next several days. So our daytime highs are expected to stay in the lower 80s. And the temperature outlook is certainly showing that, as you can see, as we get closer to Thanksgiving, much of the U.S. will be above average. Now, we are dealing with some drought, abnormally dry conditions out in Lake Sumter as well as Marion County. Again, a lack of rain, low humidity. We could see things continue to worsen. Real quick, what's happening in the tropics? Not a whole lot. No tropical development expected in the next several days as we wrap up the end of hurricane season, which is November 30th. Here's a look at your 7-day 80 tomorrow. Watch out for that patchy dense fog in the morning. 81, excuse me, on Sunday, and also patchy dense fog is possible.
Michelle, thank you. A high-energy musical filled with singing, dancing, and several hit songs is coming to Central Florida. What you can expect to see in Footloose and when it will be on an Orlando stage. That's next.
Coming up on Monday, a push for answers after a man's death on an Epic Universe roller coaster. What the News 6 investigators have learned about the days after the tragedy. Plus, the push to stop the upcoming bear hunt in the state of Florida. Well, details on that and much more. We'll see you News 6 mornings on Monday, starting at 6.
Footloose is coming to the Dr. Phillips Center. I'm News 6 producer Brooke Savage. Chase Williams plays Ren in the show, and Ayana Lua Rodriguez Santiago plays Ariel, and they're both here to tell us all about it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for having us. So first, tell us, what can people expect, and what is this show about?
Ooh. So
I feel like people can expect a great load of fun. They can expect a little bit of everything. They can expect to have a good time, to be happy, to be sad, and see like all the emotional stuff.
For people who've never seen the show, what is it about?
The show is about a teenager from Chicago. He moves to a small town in Beaumont, Texas. And basically, the thing about Ren is he eats, breathes, and loves dancing. And one of the many rules of Beaumont is there's no dancing.
Well, is there anything else you want to bring up about the show?
We go on stage the 20th and the 22nd. It's going to be an amazing show. We're excited for everybody to see it. We've been working very hard.
Yes, it is impressive. I've seen the rehearsals. The dancing is fantastic, and you guys also have really cool sets. So this is going to be a really good show. I'm so excited for you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, like Chase mentioned, the show is November 20th through the 22nd. I also posted the details on clickorlando.com/settingthestage in the podcast studio. Brooke Savage, News 6.
News 6 at 5 is next. Matt Austin is in the newsroom with what's ahead.
Ginger, buckle up because we have a lot of breaking news after the break. So much going on this Friday. We're following the latest on an investigation involving a barricaded suspect along a busy stretch of road. We have a crew there working to get some new details right now. Plus, a now former Orlando City Commissioner suing the city and her opponent after suffering a major loss on Election Day. We're digging into her claims. And your forecast is only minutes away. Don't forget, you can stream our newscasts and live cameras like this look at Daytona Beach free anytime on News 6 Plus. Could you find a better Friday? I think not. We'll be right back. Now at 5, an alert before you hit the road. U.S. Highway 301 remains closed tonight after a truck carrying an excavator slammed into a bridge. Our reporter near the scene in Wildwood will have an update in moments.
But we
Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live, you're watching News 6 at 5 p.m.
But we start with breaking news at 5 today as Orlando police block off a road as they investigate a barricaded suspect. Our cameras were rolling as SWAT teams stormed a tattoo shop at Lee Road and Edgewater Drive.
News 6's Tylisa Hampton joins us live outside a still very active scene. Tylisa, what can you tell us?
Well, Matt and Ginger, we can now say that the crime scene unit team has arrived. You can see that van over there. Since we've been here, they have just arrived on scene. We saw them go inside that tattoo shop where you can see those windows have blown out. Now, earlier we did see SWAT come here. They busted in that tattoo shop. We heard a loud boom. Now, those bystanders, they were all had a strong reaction to that boom. Then we heard SWAT come out. And since then, that crime scene unit has shown up. Now, we want to take you on a walk a little bit around this way because Lee Road, that has since opened. But let's get a clear view of Edgewater Road because this is still very much blocked off. Now, there's been a lot of bystanders here that we've been talking to. Some of them very concerned about their family members who were inside that tattoo shop. They did not want to go on camera, but they wanted us to say that they wanted answers from the police department, hoping to hear something soon. And although things have calmed down here, for those family members, things are still very tense. We saw tears earlier. Even just a couple minutes ago before we went live, we heard screaming between some people that were here with the police, hoping that they could get some answers from the police on scene. However, that did not happen. But you can still see the scene very active over here. And we also just want to take you a walk around this way so you can really get a full view of what's happening here around this police car right here. You're going to see a group of people standing here. Now, these people, they've probably been out here longer than we have. And then we're going to also continue to move this way because all of this has still been blocked off since we've been here. We just want to give you that full view so our viewers can understand what's happening here because people really do want answers. And things are still very tense here. Sorry, I wanted to catch what he was saying right there, guys, but things are still very much tense here for people that want answers. I'm gonna see if he might want to talk to us real quick before we go. He's just walking down that way, but as you can see, things are very tense here for people who do want answers and who are hoping to hear something about their family members. Reporting, I'm Orlando's Tylisa Hampton.
Yeah, it does seem like a tense situation out there. Tylisa, thank you very much. All right, also breaking at 5, suspended Orlando City Commissioner Regina Hill just filed a lawsuit against the winner of the District 5 race, Shan Rose.
Yeah, last week, Rose defeated Hill for the Orlando City Commission seat. News 6 investigator Mike DeForest joins us now live. He is in the newsroom. Mike, you learned about this lawsuit minutes after it was filed.
Ginger, I've got it right here. In this lawsuit filed just hours ago, former Orlando City Commissioner Regina Hill accuses Shan Rose's campaign of offering money and other things of value in exchange for votes. Now, Regina Hill served as Orlando District 5 Commissioner for nearly a decade until last year when she was arrested and suspended from office. Prosecutors have accused her of defrauding an elderly woman. Now, despite that pending criminal case, Hill recently ran for re-election against the woman who took over for Hill as interim city commissioner, Shaniqua Shan Rose. Well, Rose defeated Hill in last week's election. Now, in this newly filed lawsuit, Hill is accusing Rose's campaign of offering voters, quote, free health screenings and $45 Visa gift cards in exchange for votes. Hill also claims members of Rose's campaign improperly collected absentee ballots from voters at an elder care facility. I just spoke with Commissioner Rose on the phone. She was not aware this lawsuit had been filed and did not immediately comment on it. Now, in the lawsuit, Hill wants the city's canvassing board to set aside its certification and either order a new election or declare Hill the winner. But under the canvassing board laws, the board cannot do that without a judge's order. No timeline has been set yet on a hearing for this lawsuit. Reporting live in the newsroom, Mike DeForest, News 6.
A lot happening there, Mike. Thank you. More breaking news now. The Marion County Sheriff's Office says all 911 and non-emergency phone lines are currently down. They say if you need help, you cannot call. You must text 911 from your cell phone. You must text it. They say text is the only way to get help right now. We're going to continue to follow this developing story and bring you updates until service is restored.
Some breaking news right now. The Associated Press is reporting the FAA is easing its flight restrictions ordered during the shutdown at the nation's 40 top airports. The flight reductions will drop from 6% to 3%, meaning operations are slowly returning to normal. That list of 40 airports included Orlando International Airport, which we've been covering all week. We'll keep you up to date with any of these changes on air and online at clickorlando.com. Now to Sumter County tonight, where an excavator slams into a bridge, shutting down the Florida Turnpike for hours.
Traffic was backed up for miles, leaving some drivers stranded. News 6's Laverne McGee has the latest on what happened.
301 remains closed despite the fact that the excavator has been removed from under the bridge, but they want to make sure that it's safe, and that may take some time.
Did you see what happened?
No, I was inside when it happened, but it's been stuck under there for almost 3 hours now.
James Blake works at the Florida Citrus Center in Wildwood, close to the bridge that was hit by an excavator Friday morning. The boom from the excavator hitting each of the concrete girders as it passed under Highway 301 near Wildwood. Traffic backed up for hours. Nick Fish was caught in the congestion, exiting right before the bridge.
Very unusual and scary because it's a bridge, you know what I mean?
While the turnpike reopened around 1 o'clock, both directions of Highway 301 are closed for repairs with no timeline for when it will reopen.
It's been stuck there, they have a ton of workers out here.
In Wildwood, Laverne McGee, News 6.
The death of a Central Florida 18-year-old on a cruise ship is continuing to raise a lot of questions.
Yeah, Anna Kepner, a senior at Temple Christian School, was on a 6-day cruise when she was found dead.
Your Titusville community correspondent James Sparvero has spent the week speaking to neighbors who hope the FBI finally shed some light on this tragic death.
A week after a teenager died on a cruise, authorities still aren't saying how Anna Kepner died. From Anna's neighborhood to her school, everyone I'm talking to is wondering, when will the FBI give this heartbroken community some answers?
What happened to this poor girl, you know?
Friday, I met neighbor Joe Souza taking a walk on Anna's street. Like many, he's following news about the death. With Miami's medical examiner putting the time of death as Friday, November the 7th, the ship she was on, the Carnival Horizon, returned to Miami the following day.
It was on a cruise ship. The girl was found dead in a room. So who knows what happened, right? The FBI is the only one that's going to find out.
Each time this week when I asked, the FBI told me it had nothing new to report. Meanwhile, Anna's car is still here at Temple Christian School.
The weather's holding the flowers up beautifully and people are still stopping by, visiting.
Parent Dana Wolf told me no one's hearing anything new on campus either.
Answers would be good because it's still been over, a week and nobody knows much other than what the newses are telling you, and that's just it was a death.
And there's a lot of rumors out there.
Absolutely. And within this time frame, there's always a little more details of something coming out about it, and they're still just keeping it as simple as possible.
Anna's celebration of life service will be Thursday next week here at the Grove Church. Until then, I'll keep asking investigators for any updates about the case. As soon as we learn any new details, we will share them with you too, right here on News 6 and clickorlando.com. In Brevard County, I'm your Titusville community correspondent, James Sparvero, News 6.
Taking a live look now over Inter and Co Stadium from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope camera. We are counting down to the Orlando Pride's next test as they seek to bring another title back to Central Florida. Sports director Jamie Say joins us live with a preview of Sunday's big game. Jamie.
Ginger, it will be semifinal Sunday in downtown Orlando as the Pride take the field at Inter and Co Stadium. And a win this Sunday would mean they would advance to next weekend's championship. Here are the final 4 teams in the hunt for the NWSL title. We got the Washington Spirit, Portland Thorns, Orlando Pride, and Gotham FC. So Sunday, the Pride hosts Gotham in the semifinals. Kickoff is at 3 in downtown Orlando. Gotham got into the playoffs as an 8 seed and promptly upset top-seeded Kansas City last weekend. The Pride are well aware of the intensity of the playoffs, having been there, done that, and won that last year. Orlando is playing its best soccer of 2025 right now, entering Sunday's semifinal match on a 6-game unbeaten streak. I checked in with the Pride today. They're confident, but not cocky, and prepared to give it their all on Sunday in front of the home crowd.
We love our fans and we love this stadium. It's our home fortress, we say. And like Marta says, nobody's allowed to have fun there. So every time we play there, we know that it's going to be a great game, and then the fans are going to push us.
With any game against Gotham, it's always competitive. It's always a fun content against a good team with good players. So we have to be at our best to get the win.
The Pride played Gotham twice this season. Orlando won the first match. Gotham won the second. The third one is for a spot in next Saturday's NWSL Championship, which will be played in San Jose, California. Pride obviously looking for a repeat of that. Matt and Ginger, back to you.
It's happening. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah.
Jamie Say, thank you. We are kicking off an annual effort to help others in need this holiday season.
I'm News 6 anchor Lisa Bell, live at the Mall at Millennia, where we are kicking off the annual Angel Tree program with the Salvation Army. How you can get involved coming up.
And it's going to get warm outside, and plus we're tracking a little bit of fog for your Saturday morning. I'll have all the details when we come back.
And we are keeping a close eye on a barricaded situation that's happening in Northwest Orlando. More when we come back.
Today's Port Canaveral Cam is sponsored by Launch Credit Union.
Well, it's that time of year, time to spread some holiday cheer and bring Christmas to thousands of local kids and seniors.
Yeah, News 6 is once again teaming up with BFAR Contracting to kick off the Salvation Army's Angel Tree program. News 6 anchor Lisa Bell is live today at the mall at Millennia.
So Lisa, with the help of the community, we're going to bring Christmas to 6,000 kids and seniors.
That's right. We have our work cut out for us once again this year, and it all starts today. It's the annual kickoff day at the mall at Millennia, and I can tell you I've seen a steady stream of people coming here to the Angel Tree behind me to select just the perfect angel. I actually met one woman earlier today who has been buying Angel Tree gifts with her mom since she was 8 years old. It's a tradition that started 23 years ago. Obviously, this is a family tradition for you. Why do you think it's so important for families to do something like this?
When I was a little kid, it was a really great way for me to learn about giving back and what it really means to kind of embody the spirit of Christmas. So there's a little kid out here in Orlando that's going to benefit from this, and I think that's a really cool way to teach kids about giving and receiving and being charitable and kind.
And she was telling me every year she likes to come out here on kickoff day because it really kicks off the holiday season for her. I'm joined now by Desiree Witherspoon with the mall at Millennia. Christmas has taken over the mall already, and this day really does mark the beginning of the season for so many people.
Yes, it truly does. And stories like that is the reason why we host Angel Tree for 23 years. This has been a staple in the community, and it's definitely one of the #1 drop-off donation centers for Central Florida, which is awesome.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that because you guys make it so easy. You can come here to the mall, adopt an angel, and then bring the gifts right back here to the mall.
Yes, and we'll be here until the 7th collecting gifts and even after that. So it's really important for us to do this, and we love, love, love hosting this every single year.
I know you personally have seen it firsthand over the years. What's it like for you to walk into work every day and see all of the gifts building up and the joy that you know is going to be spread?
Oh my gosh, this box is literally filled every single day with everyone that's giving back, and it means so much, I think, to the community to be able to support everyone that is in need for this program.
Yeah, and when you come here to the mall, of course, you can adopt an angel here off the tree. You can also see Santa Claus, though, who is now here at the mall.
Yes, Santa landed last Friday, and so we are in full Christmas mode here, and we're loving it.
I love it. Well, we've already seen a lot of people come out here today. They tell me it's a tradition to specifically come here to the mall at Millennia. So, of course, you can come here. This tree is going to be up for several weeks. Adopt just the perfect angel. There are 6,000 to choose from this year. And then, of course, do your shopping and bring those gifts right back to this very location so they can all be distributed by Distribution Day, which is coming up in just a few weeks. Matt and Ginger, I know it's a day that we always look forward to.
Oh, it's always so special. Lisa, if you think it's special just picking an angel, when you go to actually do the shopping, that's even more special.
Yes.
Very gratifying stuff.
All right, thank you, Lisa. And you can take out your phone and scan the QR code right there on your screen. It'll take you to clickorlando.com/angeltree, where we posted ways you can adopt an angel in person, and you can also do it virtually.
Love this time of year.
Yeah,
All right,
me
let's
too.
get you over to meteorologist David Nazario. Another reason to love this time of year. Do days get better than today?
If they do, I don't want it.
Pinch me. Make sure I'm awake here.
Yeah.
You're fine.
All right, David, what's going on? Because this is perfect.
Yeah, stepped outside this morning and I knew immediately, could just feel it. It's going to be a gorgeous day. But even though we just had Lisa's story about Angel Tree Christmas, it's not going to feel that way too much longer. Let's get you some headlines. The last few chilly mornings are dead ahead before we go right up into above average territory. We've got a stubborn ridge that's going to get stuck directly overhead, and that's going to create a dry trend possibly all the way through to the rest of November. Let's take a look at the water vapor satellite together. So here is that massive trough that brought us the freezing conditions earlier this week. It's been a whirlwind of events the last several days. It's hard to believe that was only a couple of days ago. You look, and that's well off towards into the western Atlantic, the northeast United States, and then back in through here. This is our subtropical ridge that's going to continue to move off towards the east. And you can see it when you zoom out, looking at our national temperatures. Remember, it was much warmer over the Rockies. Now, the heart of the nation sitting between the mid to upper 80s and the upper 70s across the Great Plains, and it's going to be continuing continuing to move into our area. Here's a look at our temperatures outside right now. Definitely much warmer than the last time I got to talk weather with all of you at home. You can see Gainesville at 74, Ocala 75, Orlando comfortably at 73. I wish this was going to be the status quo for the next 7 days. You can see in the 24-hour temperature change, we continue to steadily bump those numbers up. I wish those were rookie numbers, but trust me, they're going to get even higher. So no worries from Matthew McConaughey if you get the reference there. As we go through tonight, from about now through the early morning hours, we're going to cool back down to the upper to mid 50s. And as a result of that, we're going to be looking pretty good for the weekend. We're not tracking any significant weather players. In fact, for both Saturday and Sunday, mostly clear, comfortable conditions throughout the day, whether it's starting the day or going through the morning, afternoon, and the evening. Biggest headline, I would honestly say, is the fog for my John Carpenter fans out there. By 2 o'clock in the morning, we're going to start to see a little bit of that fog induced by high pressure sitting off towards our northwest, creeping into Alachua County, Gainesville. And then as we start Saturday morning around 7 o'clock, look at how it just kind of festers and kind of creeps into the western half of our viewing area. I might wake up to some of it down in Haines City and Polk County. So the western half of our viewing area is going to see some fog until that sun comes up. Then it'll burn off. And as we go through the day, moderate UV index because the sun is going to be shining. We don't have a lot of moisture out there for clouds, let alone any rainfall to occur. And because of that, the dry ridge conditions, look at this temperature outlook. It just continues to get more and more red as we get closer and closer to Thanksgiving and Black Friday. And it's all because of that ridge coming on in over the next several days. It's going to get stuck there. It's not going to be moving. I'll break this down a little bit further, but essentially this is what I'm looking at to develop that forecast. Positive values usually mean cooler. If you look through the rest of November, negative values point towards warmth. I'll break that down later on. Drought conditions are probably going to continue to sneak up and up as we go over the next couple of weeks together. And thankfully, one thing that's coming to a close very soon is hurricane season. Climate Prediction Center dropped all the red areas out there, and National Hurricane Center continues to track zilch across the Atlantic Basin. I think it's safe to say we are good to go. Now, let's get you back close to home. Take a look at that 7-day forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by Payne Law.
So you can see for Saturday and Sunday that patchy AM fog is going to be the name of the game. And then honestly, as we get into next week, the final countdown approaching Thanksgiving week, the following week, we're just going to continue to see high temperatures slowly but surely get higher and higher. Matt and Ginger, back to you.
All right, David, thank you. Well, we are continuing to keep a close eye on a barricaded suspect situation. This is happening in Orlando along Edgewater Drive near Lee Road. We've now learned Orlando police are about to hold an update coming up at 5:35. When it happens, we'll bring it to you live. We'll be right back.
I'm meteorologist Michelle Morgan. Looking for something fun to do this weekend? Well, after this week's cold snap, warmer weather is on the way just in time for a fun-filled weekend. For the first time ever, a balloon glow, drone, and laser show lights up Lake County. I spoke to the CEO, Jeremy Kowarski, about what you can expect.
Bring your own chairs and blankets, stake a spot, go enjoy all the vendors, the music. We've got a great DJ that plays literally everything that you're going to want to hear, and family friendly, of course. And that way you can kind of participate in the atmosphere of the festivalness of it, as well as get a ride on a real hot air balloon.
It starts at 5 p.m. Friday and Saturday at Willow Tree Park in Groveland. Illuminate kicks off this weekend at Aquatica from 6 to 10 p.m., featuring giant lanterns, shimmering displays, glowing walkways, and more. Tickets start at $25. Festival of Trees returns this weekend to the Orlando Museum of Art through November 23rd. Enjoy a winter wonderland, live entertainment, and Santa meet and greets from 10 a.m. through 5 p.m. Tickets are $20 for adults, $12 for kids. Astrofest at the Orlando Science Center is this weekend from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Celebrate space and astronomy with hands-on activities, films, live shows, and more. The Flapjack 5K is Saturday in Leesburg from 8 a.m. through noon, featuring a 3-mile run or walk and a pancake feast. Race entry includes a finisher medal, complimentary mimosa or Bloody Mary, and all-you-can-eat pancakes. This Saturday at 10 a.m., Ponce Inlet Historical Museum hosts Sandbox Archaeology, a hands-on dig for young explorers. Expect pleasant weather. If you have something fun happening in your town next weekend, let me know. I've been getting so many cool events from viewers just like you. Just head over to clickorlando.com or a News 6 app. Just click Contact Us.
After the break, the urgent request for help from a local sheriff's office working to track down a dangerous suspect.
Glad you're with us. I'm Ginger Gadsden.
I'm Matt Austin. You're watching News 6 at 5. We are following breaking news.
We're working to get information from Orlando police about a huge presence in northwest Orlando. This is near the corner of Edgewater Drive and Lee Road. Just before 2:30 this afternoon, they said that they were working an investigation involving a barricaded suspect. They haven't offered any updates in the past 2 hours, though, but we're about to get some answers. Orlando Police Chief Eric Smith will have a press conference coming up in just about 5 minutes from now. We'll take you there live when it happens.
Former Orlando City Commissioner Regina Hill has just filed a lawsuit against her political opponent, Shan Rose. Last week, Rose defeated Hill for the District 5 City Commission seat. The suit accuses Rose's campaign of offering money and other things of value in exchange for votes. Hill served as Orlando District 5 Commissioner for nearly a decade until she was suspended from office last year. In Sumter County, a truck hauling an excavator slammed into a bridge, shutting down the Florida Turnpike for hours. It happened at the US 301 overpass near Wildwood. All right, we have that press conference starting at the intersection of Lee Road and Edgewater. Let's get right out to that live press conference taking place. This is Orlando Police.
64 Edgewater Drive. The investigation involved multiple suspects with extensive criminal histories, including burglary, robbery with a firearm, possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, sex offenses, drug offenses, auto theft, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. At approximately 2:05 p.m., officers saw a man exit a tattoo shop armed with the AK-47 style rifle. Officers fired at the suspect, who fled back into the business. One suspect died at the scene. The officers involved in their shooting were not injured and will be placed on paid administrative leave. As with all officer-involved shootings, FDLE will conduct an independent review of the incident, followed by the State Attorney's Office. This is still an active investigation. Now I'll take your questions.
Chief, the warrant, the person that you were serving the warrant on, was it one of the two suspects, one of them that died, or the one that, what was the situation there?
That's going to be a part of the investigation. We have multiple suspects there, and so that's going to be a part of the investigation when it's all said and done. Yes, there are multiple suspects who are wanted in the warrant for drug dealing. Yes, we believe they were all there.
And just for our audience that's just joining us now, what types of things were you serving those warrants on? Can you go through that again, please, sir?
So the search warrant included, well, their histories included burglary, robbery with a firearm, possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, sex offenses, drug offenses, auto theft, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. We were there for drug and weapons charges.
Was there anybody in the shop at the time?
Over here.
Yeah, was there anybody in the shop at the time?
Yes, there are multiple suspects there.
As far as this guy barricaded himself was what we understood in the shop. Were there any innocent victims or customers in the shop at the time that could have been hurt?
I'm unsure of that information at this time. I know we did come in contact with multiple people when we made entry.
You saw some video of someone just taking out of their candle. Were there other people just in that shopping center because it was 2 p.m. on Friday?
Yes, this is a strip mall, so I'm sure there were other people in the vicinity of that search warrant.
Can you give us a number of shots fired? One witness said that there was as many as 5 shots fired. Who shot first? What can you tell us about the gunshots?
That's going to be a part of the investigation, and there were, I believe, like under 10 shots fired. That's part of the investigation.
Were the suspects employees of the tattoo shop?
That's part of the investigation.
How long have this place been under surveillance as far as Orlando Police Department is concerned? What kind of complaints have you received?
So that's going to be part of the investigation. We were there for multiple drug dealing complaints. So that's all part of the search warrant.
Do you know how big of a drug operation
That's all going to be a part of the investigation. We were there. I would say that on that piece of it, there was enough for us to do deals there and do an investigation.
Was the criminal activity happening inside of the tattoo shop?
Yes.
Can you tell us some of the evidence, some of the drug evidence, or money, or even guns that might have been recovered at this time?
We're still at the scene, and that's still part of the investigation. So as you see, we're still there. They're still collecting evidence and still looking at the scene.
In terms of, I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I understand this. So there were 2 people who were barricaded inside, and 1 person ended up getting shot, correct?
There were multiple people barricaded inside, and when we made entry, we did find a deceased person in the business.
Were all the people inside involved with the warrant, or were there people who were just there in the tattoo or a customer?
That's going to be a part of the investigation, who was inside. I mean, we're just starting this, so we were looking for certain suspects, but it is also a tattoo shop, so it's possible that people were there, but we're there for illegal activity in the tattoo shop. That's part of the investigation.
Chief, I understand you said this is very early and part of the investigation. You said when your men entered, there was a deceased person inside. Do we have any idea who killed this person?
That's a part of the investigation. So when we made entry, we did find a person who was deceased inside. That's part of the investigation.
To clarify, Chief, so someone came out with it. How did that happen? Someone came out with it right after the warrant was served, or how did that happen?
When the SWAT team showed up on scene, a person exited the back of the business with an AK-47 style rifle, and then he retreated back into the business as shots were being fired.
And the person who was deceased inside, were they shot?
That's all going to be a part of the investigation that comes out. No, we're still at the scene right there, so I'm not sure how the person died, but we made entry about an hour later. After you saw that we were there, the person retreated back in, they barricaded. About an hour later, we made entry, and we did find a deceased person inside. We don't. That's part of the investigation at this time.
We heard something about a chase. There was no chase involved in this. Someone, I guess, on the scene that they were reporters, maybe there was some sort of chase.
You mean like a vehicle chase? No, we just SWAT showed up and served a search warrant.
And the road was closed as part of all of this as well?
Yes, because anytime we have criminal activity or we have any kind of SWAT activity in there, we're going to shut down the whole road for everybody's safety.
Can you tell me about how many suspects you have, and are there still any suspects at large?
We have multiple suspects. There's no. I'm not sure if there are any at large at this time.
Was the FBI involved at all in this?
No.
Was anybody being held hostage? Was anybody being held hostage during this time?
No, not that we know of.
If you could talk just generally about, serving a warrant like this for people, guns and things like that, and how dangerous it can be.
So serving search warrants, especially when you know suspects are armed and it's a drug warrant, is very dangerous for all of our officers. They train very extensively for this kind of operation, but they're at total risk. So anytime you have any kind of a fire like this and a shooting like this, it's very dangerous for everybody involved. It's dangerous for our community.
Robot dog.
Yeah, so we have a lot of tools that we use. So part of that is a robot dog, and we do have drones. We have all sorts of things that we use for our SWAT operations and to keep everybody safe.
And have you ever had to hit this place before? Has it been complaints in the past?
I'm not sure of that. We'd have to look back at our records and see if we've been there, because I know the business has been there for a very long time, so I'm not sure if we've hit it in the past.
But you think that tattoo business is the only one involved, not any others in that strip mall?
That's all we had a search warrant for, was that business.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, you have been listening to Orlando Police Chief Eric Smith give an update on that now what we know is a deadly officer-involved shooting at the corner of Edgewater and Lee Road happening today about 2:30 when a warrant was served. They said when they entered, one person was deceased. We're trying to get some answers as to how that person ended up dead. Our Tylisa Hampton is on scene. She's trying to get some answers as well. We'll have much more coming up for you at 6 o'clock and on clickorlando.com. A convicted felon out of jail for 6 months is on the run tonight. He's wanted for apparently beating a woman in the middle of A1A in Daytona Beach. News 6's Mike Valente joins us live. And Mike, you spoke to a chief deputy who actually happened to stumble upon this scene while it was happening yesterday.
Yeah, Ginger, pretty amazing. We spoke to that chief deputy. He described this as a brazen act. He was driving north here on A1A, said he saw a man chasing a woman, was beating her and dragging her. The situation escalated through this parking lot.
White male, bald head, light colored shirt.
I've been doing this a long time, and I've dealt with a lot of bad people. This is a bad guy.
Did you see it?
Oh, yeah. Turned around, and he was dragging her. That's okay. I'm glad I was here.
We're taking the same route right now that Chief Deputy Brian Henderson said he took Thursday when he was driving home from work. He said that he saw a woman who appeared visibly upset, and he immediately knew something was wrong.
I see this guy come across A1A towards her, and she attempts to run from him, and he reached out to grab her as she was nearing the sidewalk, and they both fell into the traffic lane.
That's when Chief Deputy Brian Henderson gets out of his truck.
By the time I was able to get there, he had actually drug her into an alleyway and was forcefully dragging her towards the parking garage.
You can see in this newly released surveillance video, it appears the suspect, who's since been identified as Scott Knowlton, is hitting the woman and physically forcing her to come with him. Henderson recounted that when Knowlton saw him, Knowlton dropped a backpack and ran. Henderson and another deputy went to check on the woman.
Where you hurt at?
My face.
Let me see.
I feel like my chin.
Yeah, your chin's a little cut up.
All she continued to tell me is he's going to kill me.
Inside the backpack, according to deputies, a gun, meth, and fentanyl.
We got to get him off the street.
So there's a $1,000 reward right now for any information that leads to Knowlton's arrest. Now, Knowlton already had several outstanding warrants, and now he's looking at additional charges when he is captured, charges that include kidnapping and battery. We're live in Daytona Beach tonight. I'm Mike Valenti, News 6.
Mike, thank you. We're continuing to help others in need this holiday season. Lisa Bell joins us now live to explain how we can do that.
Yes, we have been out here all afternoon, and it has been fantastic. Guys, we have seen so many familiar faces. I think our camera can pan over. I know you two recognize these guys. It's the Schwartz family who come out year after year. Coming up, we're going to be talking to our friends with Miller Ale House about how they support the Angel Tree program year after year. Back to you guys.
Beware of the fog. We may be tracking some visibility issues as we start Saturday and Sunday. I'll have all the details as well as the warm-up that's coming when we come back.
And later, the all-star athletes arriving for some important games in Central Florida today.
Every child deserves to experience the joy of Christmas morning. That's why News 6 and B4 Contracting are teaming up once again with the Salvation Army's Angel Tree program.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. With the help of generous donors like you, we can help bring presents to 6,000 local kids and seniors.
Yeah, News 6 anchor Lisa Bell is live at the mall at Millennia, where A tree is filled with angels to be adopted. Lisa, you showed us some familiar people who come every year. They're now taller than you are. They didn't start that way.
I know. They've been coming for 20 years to adopt an angel. It's a family tradition. We have talked with so many people tonight who have said this has become a tradition for them. It's how they kick off the holiday season. We have the Salvation Army Band playing some holiday music for us. And of course, this is the reason why we're here right now, is the angel tree. And it is loaded with angels just like this one. This is for 3-year-old Amy, who is looking for some clothes, an Elsa doll, and a dollhouse this year. So this is one of 6,000 angels who we are trying to get results for and give them something special to open this holiday season. Of course, we could not do it without all of our amazing partners. We've been introducing you to some of those partners throughout the evening, and I want to introduce you now to Joel Chick with Miller's Ale House. Miller's has been a supporter of the Angel Tree program for years. You are new to Miller's this year, so this is your first time experiencing the Angel Tree kickoff day. What is your reaction to what you've seen and witnessed tonight?
Well, it's an amazing experience to be involved with such a great program that gives back to the community. Miller's has a long history of being involved in the community, so we're so honored to be partnering with the Salvation Army and continuing to engage the community.
And one of the things you guys do is you actually purchase bikes and helmets. Tell me about that, because you also assemble them.
Yeah, it kind of takes a little bit of an army. Kelly Neeson back at our support center does an awesome job assembling that army. We bring the bikes into our war room. We put the bikes together. We partner with the helmets, and then we'll drop them off on our sled early in December.
I love that. And then you also show up on distribution day. You guys have volunteer employees who are there to make sure the bikes go with the right angels.
That's correct. Yeah. Typically, we have to slim down the list because we have so many people that volunteer. But this year, we're really excited because we're going to have a large group.
All right. Well, we are excited that you are here, and Miller's is once again supporting the Angel Tree program. You can find angels just like this one here at the Mall at Millenia, select Chick-fil-A stores, as well as online. And we have a whole lot of information on clickorlando.com. We're now going to send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Lisa, thank you. You can also take out your phone, scan the QR code on your screen. It'll take you to clickorlando.com/angeltree, where we posted ways you can adopt an angel in person and virtually.
All right, time now for a look at your weekend forecast. It is beautiful out there. It has been beautiful all day long, and it looks like the weekend is just getting better and better. Meteorologist David Nazario joins us now with more on that. David.
Yes, it truly is shaping up to be a spectacular weekend. I was talking to meteorologist Michelle Morgan before we did the warm handoff between the 4 and the 5, and this is probably the first time in a while where we're just not tracking much of anything, which is a wonderful reprieve for us here in the weather team. Let's take a look at the Port Canaveral camera together. You can see a little bit of cloud cover out there, but notice that they're not very high. They're kind of laid out like a little quilt or a blanket or a sheet maybe. That goes to show we're still pretty dry out there, but the humidity is slowly but surely coming up. Clear skies, about 70 degrees out there, and the wind has tapered. When you look at the infrared satellite, you can see that high pressure is really doing its thing. With high pressure, you get sinking, and as a result, whatever moisture is in the air, as it comes down, it dries out, and that reduces your overall cloud cover out there. And as you can see here, when I show you the dew points, this is kind of just telling me what kind of moisture we have to work with at all levels of the atmosphere. And you can see Gainesville, Ocala, all the way through to about the I-4 corridor. We are very dry out there, but that is going to change as we go through time. I'll have more on that here momentarily. Winds are also a much tamer tone today than they had been the last couple days when we were talking about the wind chill and the freezing conditions out there. And because winds will continue to relax, all thanks to this big dome of high pressure sitting overhead, that's likely what's going to help to induce a little bit of fog as we start your Saturday and Sunday mornings and keep the mornings pretty beautiful outside of those visibility obstructions. You can see as we go through Saturday and Sunday, most of us starting the day in the upper 50s, and then we slowly get back into those 60-degree temps with the humidity really starting to climb up. Now, let me show you what the fog looks like. This is what we could be seeing out there at 7 o'clock on Saturday morning. It's going to start in the northern portion of our viewing area and slowly trickle on down through Ocala, the Villages, Leesburg, maybe down into upper Polk County as well, but then it'll burn off as soon as the sun comes up. This is looking at Sunday morning. Same general area. You can kind of see it's favoring the eastern edge of where that high pressure is expected to be in place as we go over Saturday and Sunday and into next week. And as that feature continues to evolve, that's what's also going to drive our temperatures up. But for the weekend. Get out there, have some fun. You can see the high temperature is going to try to get into the 80s tomorrow. Your theme park forecast is looking spectacular, to tell you the truth. And again, we've got no major weather players on the immediate horizon. I'm just going to let the clock run here. Maybe as we get into late next week, this is Friday, next Friday, 7 days from now, models are hinting at maybe a frontal system trying to come through. But if I show you what the jet stream is doing, remember, this is the time of the year where the jet tells all. Wherever the jet is, that's where the rain is going to go. And if you notice, it kind of goes up and over us in a nice arcing fashion. Possible severe weather for our friends out there, Oklahoma, Texas, the Dixie Alley area. But regardless, not much is going to happen here. We'll be tracking it for you. Development chances are still nil across the board. I think we are just about done with the hurricane season. And we lucked out big time. When you take a look at the track tendency here, everything stayed away from us. We had Melissa, which was the nuke out there in the Caribbean Sea, Chantal into the Carolinas, but that was honestly about it. We can start looking ahead to 2026. At least I will. You all take a break. Let's take a look at your 7-day forecast.
Forecast is sponsored by Advent Health.
So for the next 7 days, the name of the game is going to be the weekend fog, and then we are just going to continue to warm up, all thanks to that stubborn ridge that's going to be holding in place possibly till the end of November. Matt and Ginger, back to you.
All right, David, thanks. After the break, the big development to hold people accountable for the country's opioid crisis.
And the athletes arriving in Central Florida to compete in some pretty big events.
Coming up on Monday, a push for answers after a man's death on an Epic Universe roller coaster.
What the News 6 investigators have learned about the days after the tragedy.
Plus, the push to stop the upcoming bear hunt in the state of Florida. Well, details on that and much more. We'll see you News 6 mornings on Monday, starting at 6.
And we're continuing to keep a close eye on what we now know was a drug warrant being served at a tattoo shop. This led to a barricaded suspect situation and one person killed. We're going to have more details ahead at 6 o'clock.
A years-long effort to hold at least one player in America's opioid crisis accountable is one step closer to closing. A federal bankruptcy court judge approved Purdue Pharma's latest deal to settle thousands of lawsuits. Members of the Sackler family will pay $7 billion to give up ownership. The deal replaces the one the U.S. Supreme Court threw out last year, which found it would have improperly protected members of the family against future lawsuits. Now, most of the money in that settlement would go to the state and local governments to continue fighting the opioid epidemic. About $850 million is being set aside for people harmed by the company's products, which more than $100 million for children born dealing with opioid withdrawal. Lawyers expect those who had prescriptions for at least 6 months will get about $16,000, and those who had smaller doses would get about half that before legal fees, of course. About 139,000 people have active claims for the money. People have until March 1st to apply for the funds as long as they agree to not sue the Sackler family in the future.
Hundreds of Special Olympics athletes were welcomed to Orlando this morning. They came on a first-class train ride by the Brightline from South Florida for the Fall Classic Games. They were greeted with cheers and well wishes before competing at ESPN's Wide World of Sports and USTA's National Campus.
So important for the community because we are welcoming athletes to really showcase their talents, their abilities, and really just making a difference. It's so much fun to see their spirit, their optimism, the sportsmanship.
This is the second year Brightline and the Special Olympics Florida have partnered to host more than 350 athletes and their families on those trains. Next on News 6 at 6, we're working to learn more on the death of a Titusville teen.
We're learning from the community after the mysterious death of Anna Kepner while on a cruise.
Plus,
Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live, you're watching News 6 at 6 p.m.
We are following three major stories tonight. A truck hauling an excavator slams into an overpass in Sumter County, slowing traffic on two busy highways. Then, after losing her District 5 race in Orlando last week, Regina Hill is suing the winner. But first, brand new details about a SWAT situation that shut down a busy intersection. The police chief says a search warrant at a tattoo shop in Orlando led to one person being killed. We want to check in now with News 6's Tylisa Hampton, who's been following this story all afternoon. Tylisa?
Yeah, Matt, right now you can see the scene is very much still active. I'm going to step out of the way so you get a closer look. Not too long ago, we heard from the police department. Now, they said this all took place just around 2 p.m. as police were trying to serve a search warrant at this tattoo shop that you can see at the shopping center over here. Now, they say that shortly after police arrived, they spotted a man leaving that tattoo shop with a rifle in his hands that resembled an AK-47. Now, officers say that when they saw that, they fired at that suspect. That suspect then fled back into the business, and this is what he has, and this is what the police have to say next.
When the SWAT team showed up on scene, a person exited the back of the business with an AK-47 style rifle, and then he retreated back into the business as shots were being fired. It's very dangerous for all of our officers. They train very extensively for this kind of operation, but they're at total risk. So anytime you have any kind of a fire like this and a shooting like this, it's very dangerous for everybody involved. It's dangerous for our community.
Now, according to officials, that suspect did die at the scene. Meanwhile, officers, they were not injured, and just like you heard, that they were placed on administrative leave. Now, since we've been out here, we've been able to talk to a number of people, from bystanders who are worried about their family members to people who own shops around the shopping center. One man says that he was actually working at the time that police knocked on his door.
I looked over and I see all these SWAT vehicles pulling up and cops jumping out of it. And what happened was they headed down the way. The banging I heard on the door turned out to be 5 fire shots.
Now, from the beginning, since we got here around 2, we saw SWAT there. They have since left. Now, we have also seen broken glass at that tattoo shop. We saw SWAT go in, we heard a big boom, and then we saw SWAT leave the area. Now, we've also seen a number of videos since we've been here of people being what appears to be arrested or just being placed in the back of a police car. And we know that officials have said they have multiple suspects that they have. And again, this is an ongoing investigation that you can clearly see the scene is still active here. So as we work to learn more information, we'll make sure to keep you updated. Reporting in Orlando, I'm News 6's Tylisa Hampton.
Tylisa, thank you. Also breaking tonight, we're learning the FAA is easing flight restrictions at 40 major airports, including Orlando International. Reductions are now dropping from 6% to 3% going forward. The reductions were put into place a week ago because of staffing, air traffic control worker shortages during the government shutdown. The longest shutdown came to an end on Wednesday that we have ever seen in this country. Today, Orlando International is reporting that things are getting better. Former Orlando City Commissioner Regina Hill has just filed a lawsuit against her political opponent, Shan Rose. Last week, Rose defeated Hill for that District 5 Commission city seat. News 6 investigator Mike DeForest joins us now live in the newsroom. So, Mike, you learned about this lawsuit just minutes after it was filed.
Matt, I've got it right here. Now, in this lawsuit filed just hours ago, former Orlando City Commissioner Regina Hill accuses Shan Rose's campaign of offering money and other things of value in exchange for votes. Now, Regina Hill served as Orlando District 5 Commissioner for nearly a decade until last year when she was arrested and suspended from office. Prosecutors have accused her of defrauding an elderly woman. Now, despite that pending criminal case, Hill recently ran for re-election against the woman who took over for Hill as interim city commissioner, Shaniqua Shan Rose. Rose defeated Hill in last week's election. Now, in a newly filed lawsuit, Hill is accusing Rose's campaign of offering voters, quote, free health screenings and $45 Visa gift cards in exchange for votes. Now, Hill also claims members of Rose's campaign improperly collected absentee ballots from voters at an elder care facility. I contacted Commissioner Rose shortly after this lawsuit was filed. Just minutes ago, I received an email from her. It said, quote, no comment. Now, in this lawsuit, Hill wants the city's canvassing board to set aside its certification and either order a new election or declare Hill the winner. But under the law, canvassing board cannot do that without a judge's order. No timeline's been set yet for a hearing on this lawsuit. Reporting live in the newsroom, Mike DeForest, News 6.
All right, Mike, thank you. Well, US 301 is still closed after a truck carrying an excavator crashed into an overpass today. FDOT inspectors were on the scene covering the area, so nothing fell on traffic. The truck was removed around 3:30. We're told that excavator was stuck under the overpass for hours. The crane hitting each of the concrete beams as it passed under Highway 301. Drivers tell News 6 what they saw on their drive on the turnpike.
Very unusual and scary because it's a bridge, you know what I mean?
It's been stuck there, and they have a ton of workers out here.
We're told beams will need to be wrapped and covered and deemed safe before the road reopens. The turnpike in that area is back open. You can follow updates all night for these major stories on clickorlando.com. The death of 18-year-old Anna Kepner, a senior at Temple Christian School, is continuing to raise questions. She was on a 6-day cruise when she was found dead. Your Titusville community correspondent James Sparvero spent the week talking to neighbors who hope the FBI can shed some light on this tragic death.
A week after a teenager died on a cruise, authorities still aren't saying how Anna Kepner died. From Anna's neighborhood to her school, everyone I'm talking to is wondering, when will the FBI give this heartbroken community some answers?
What happened to this poor girl, you know?
Friday, I met neighbor Joe Souza taking a walk on Anna's street. Like many, he's following news about the death. With Miami's medical examiner putting the time of death as Friday, November the 7th, the ship she was on, the Carnival Horizon, returned to Miami the following day.
It was on a cruise ship. The girl was found dead in a room, so who knows what happened, right? The FBI is the only one that's going to find out.
Each time this week when I asked, the FBI told me it had nothing new to report. Meanwhile, Anna's car is still here at Temple Christian School.
The weather's holding the flowers up beautifully, and people are still stopping by, visiting.
Parent Dana Wolf told me no one's hearing anything new on campus either.
Answers would be good, because it's still been over, a week, and nobody knows much other than what the newsers are telling you, and that's just it was a death.
And there's a lot of rumors out there.
Absolutely, and within this time frame, there's always a little more details of something coming out about it, and they're still just keeping it as simple as possible.
Anna's celebration of life service will be Thursday next week here at the Grove Church. Until then, I'll keep asking investigators for any updates about the case. As soon as we learn any new details, we will share them with you too, right here on News 6 and clickorlando.com. In Brevard County, I'm your Titusville community correspondent, James Sparvero, News 6.
In Volusia County now, a convicted felon out of jail for 6 months is on the run tonight. In this newly released surveillance video, it appears the suspect, who's been identified as Scott Knowlton, is hitting the woman and physically forcing her to come with him. A Volusia County deputy got out of his truck, jumped into action to help this woman.
I see this guy come across A1A towards her, and she attempts to run from him. And he reached out to grab her as she was nearing the sidewalk, and they both fell into the traffic lane. By the time I was able to get there, he had actually drug her into an alleyway and was forcefully dragging her towards the parking garage.
Crazy situation. Deputies say Knowlton dropped the backpack and ran, and they went to check on the woman. Knowlton is already wanted on several outstanding warrants. He's now facing new charges, including kidnapping and battery. Meantime, the search is over for a man in a swamp in the area of DeLeon Springs State Park. VCSO says Earl Dory was arrested today after running from deputies Wednesday. Sheriffs say that he pointed a gun at deputies and himself before heading deeper into the swamp. He was taken to the hospital, faces several charges, including having a weapon while being a convicted felon and running from law enforcement. An update tonight out of Marion County after a laundromat exploded in July of last year. So here is the incredible video from last year of the explosion on 25th Avenue at the Classic Laundromat and Dry Cleaner. Wild scene there. Well, now the business owner in Ocala has to make improvements to that site by the end of January or pay a $100 fine every day. The county could step in if improvements are not made and demolish the site. A man who was inside the building during the explosion has filed a lawsuit. You can read this story, more on it, and get updates on Monday's meeting right now at clickorlando.com. FlooridaSports.com. Some changes could be on the way for Florida schools after a new ruling by the Department of Education. Coming up, what the Phoenix Declaration is and what it means for school going forward. And we are live at the mall at Millenia, highlighting the start of the Angel Tree season today. News 6 anchor Lisa Bell joins us live next.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Advent Health, helping the communities we serve to feel whole.
A new education model is heading to your child's school. Florida is the first state in the nation to adopt these new standards, which are not coming without some controversy. Alex Cook spoke to both sides about what the state is now mandating be taught.
Florida is the first state to adopt the Phoenix Declaration, a document released by the conservative think tank, the Heritage Foundation.
James Evans has a son in Seminole County schools and is concerned about the new guiding principles for education heading their way.
I would genuinely feel as strong frustration as I feel today had it been a left-leaning, a progressive political think tank. These are political institutions, and we have to recognize that and the implication that comes with when we put it into the public education system.
The Phoenix Declaration, drafted by the Conservative Heritage Foundation, calls for students to learn about broader Western and Judeo-Christian traditions, adding that education needs to be grounded in objective truth, free from ideological fads.
I think it's very telling that if you look at the critics of the Phoenix Declaration, all of them are basically saying the same thing. Yeah, everything in this document sounds good, but we think there's some other agenda going on. And what we think they want to do is to whitewash history. And so I want to be very clear, that is not what we want to do.
Jason Bedrick of the Heritage Foundation says education has gone too far to the left, and this is intended as a course correction.
You've been talking about history, but it also talks about science and rejecting ideological fads in favor of facts. How is
the opposite happening in your view right now?
Well, I think one prominent example would be the transmute movement, which is blurring distinctions. And I mean, there are certain biological facts. Men and women are different.
For parents, the plan and how it's implemented remains to be seen.
Social morality could be very different between a Jewish family, a Christian family, a Muslim family, and a Hindu family. And every single one of those kids are in the same social studies class.
In Orlando, Alex Cook, News 6.
Well, today marks the beginning of an annual tradition here at News 6. The Salvation Army's Angel Tree supports thousands of local kids and seniors in need by checking off the wish list. News anchor Lisa Bell is at the Mall at Millennia, where some beautiful angel trees are decked out. Lisa, this program has been getting results for years.
Absolutely, not decades, really. And people that we have met out here today tell us they love to come back year after year because it just makes them feel so good. So this is one of the angels that's on the tree here at the Mall at Millennia. This is Jaden. It lists his age. He is 3. His favorite thing is Bluey, and this year he needs clothes and he is wishing for some art supplies. So we are hoping to get results for 6,000 angels just like Jaden across Central Florida. Of course, we couldn't do it without all of our partners like the Mall at Millennia, but also Chick-fil-A. And you can find angel trees at select Chick-fil-A stores across Central Florida. Matt Beach joining us now from Chick-fil-A. You own one of the stores that has an angel tree. Tell us, where are you located and what's that like to have an angel tree inside your restaurant?
Yes, thank you. So our location is located right across the street from the Mall at Millennia on Millennia Boulevard there. And we have been very fortunate to be able to partner with Salvation Army, doing the angel tree for 25 years now plus. And it's just one of the things that our team and our local community looks forward to the most, to be able to bless these kids and help them have an amazing Christmas.
And you say one of the things you experience year after year is your angel tree becomes bare and you have to go back to the Salvation Army and request more angels because so many people come in and adopt them.
We do. It's incredible how excited the families in this community love to rally around the idea of helping to bless others. Giving is better than receiving, and so they really look for every opportunity they can to grab those. Many Chick-fil-A's in the greater Orlando area have to go back to Salvation Army asking them, can we get some more to hang, because customers are asking for it.
Wow, I love that. And thank you so much for what you guys do. In addition to having an angel tree inside their restaurant, they also feed the army of volunteers with the Salvation Army here at Kickoff Day and at Distribution Day. So it's a great night. Of course, we're going to continue to be out here. For more information on how to adopt an angel, check out our website, clickorlando.com. We're going to send it now back to you guys in the studio.
It's beautiful out there. Lisa Bell, thank you so much. It's also beautiful outside. Let's get you over to meteorologist David Nazario.
Yes, a new hour, new headlines, and I will say we are truly getting into the best time of the year. Mother Nature is more or less throwing us a bone right now. We're not looking at chilly temperatures, so if you're coming down to Central Florida to beat the cold, you're in luck. For those of us like myself who are kind of missing the cold already, well, you'll see what I'm talking about. Last few chilly mornings are ahead of us, staring us right in the face before we trend right into above average territory as a stubborn ridge gets stuck over the eastern half of the United States, driving our temperatures up, and this could possibly hold a dry trend through Thanksgiving, Black Friday, into the very beginning of December. Now, looking at the water vapor satellite, the jet stream pattern has been fairly progressive. We had the cold snap that came through earlier this week, and we're already back to the gold standard of Florida weather, and it's this ridge over here right now over the Great Plains that's going to continue to move off towards the east. And once it settles in overhead, these temperatures you see outside right now, beautiful as a matter of fact. You can see upper 60s, low 70s across the board. These are going to continue to tick up and up and up very slowly. It won't be a massive warm-up, but as you can see here, over the last 24 hours, we've gone up a degree or two. There's some negative values on here now because the sun has indeed set, but through the afternoon, we've gone up about 2 to 3 degrees, and that's going to be the persistent trend alongside our humidity over the next several days that continues to go up as we start to get back into your more traditional Florida November, despite the cool snap we kind of started the month with. These are your wind speeds outside right now. They are going to continue to wind down ever so slightly as high pressure really settles in. And as a result of that, you can see that blue dome here. It's going to hang out over the southeast U.S. for a few more days, slowly mixing out as things start to heat up. And as a result, the fog might be coming in. And I promise it's not a John Carpenter movie you're going to be waking up into. But for Saturday morning, looks like we're going to be tracking some patchy fog over the western half of our viewing area. And I'm a little concerned that the model did stop. Nope, there we go. Perfect. So we're still looking at the latest information. And then you can see for Sunday morning, some patchy, dense fog out there that may make your morning commute, especially if you're out early. I don't imagine a lot of us will be, but hey, it goes to show it's a slow day in the weather department, which is always good news for us. As we go through time, though, notice the UV index here was moderate today because the sun is still shining out there. Clouds are going to be far and few between, and it's all thanks to that ridge. Look at the temperature outlook here. Red on red on red. We are all the way to the other end of the legend here. Above average temperatures forecasted all the way till the eve of Thanksgiving. As you watch the pattern here, look at what the orange colors do as I zoom us in on the southeast United States. You see this big old clockwise spin here? That is a dominant subtropical ridge. It's actually what saved us from Raphael and Sarah this time last year at the end of the hurricane season. Thankfully, we're not tracking anything out there besides this temperature trend. Notice that we are at average for this time of year. Then as you step through here with me, Sunday, Monday into late next week, we're well above average territory. And the humidity will make it feel a little more nasty out there than it has been. So now with that being said, let's take a look at that full 7-day forecast.
Sponsored by Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. AC emergency? You ought to call Strata.
So for the next 7 days, the major headline, to tell you the truth, is just going to be the patchy AM fog on Saturday and Sunday. Then we can all successively watch together as we get into next week and those high temperatures go up and up and up. Matt, let's get back to you at the desk.
All right, David, thank you. Well, Jamie, the Friday night lights burning a little brighter tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure is on because it's a great time of year. It's playoff time. A number of Central Florida high school football teams are about to kick off the postseason tonight. DeLand, who you're looking at right now, is a top seed with hopes to make a run at the state title. A live preview of tonight's action is on the way. Welcome back to News 6. It is playoff time on the high school football fields, and plenty of Central Florida teams could contend for state championships. The pathway begins tonight. The DeLand Bulldogs are one of those teams that could make a long run. News 6 is live at Spec Martin Stadium, where the undefeated Bulldogs are a 1 seed in Class 7A. They're getting set to host Creekside from St. Johns County tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll have highlights from this game, as well as stops in Daytona Beach, Lake Mary, Orlando, all coming up on News 6 at 11. It's going to be semifinal Sunday in downtown Orlando as the Pride take the field against Gotham FC at Inrinco Stadium. Kickoff is at 3 o'clock. The winner advances to the NWSL Championship. The Pride are getting in their final preparations for Sunday's match. They're well aware of the intensity of the playoffs, having been there, done that, won that last year. Orlando is playing its best soccer of 2025 right now, entering this semifinal on a 6-match unbeaten streak. I checked in with the Pride today. They're prepared to give it their all on Sunday in front of the home crowd.
We want to continue that momentum that we've had in the last couple of games. We've been playing playoff football for a long period of time now. It's win or go home, do you know what I mean? So it's like you've got to give absolutely everything, and that's what the players have done.
I think a word that we always use here is whatever it takes. So we are willing to do whatever it takes to get this win and advance to the finals.
Here are the final 4 teams in the hunt for that NWSL title: the Washington Spirit, Portland Thorns, Orlando Pride, and Gotham FC. Again, the Pride hosts Gotham Sunday at 3 in the semifinals. The Magic are hoping to go over 500 for the first time since winning the season opener when they host Brooklyn in tonight's NBA Cup matchup. Orlando is a big favorite. The Nets are just 1-10, but the Magic will be without their main man tonight. Paolo Banchero out because of a groin strain. He'll be evaluated daily. The good news, the injury does not appear to be too significant. Here's what Paolo told reporters following today's shoot-around.
It doesn't feel too crazy. Just going to take it one day at a time. I really don't know, couldn't give you an exact time, but hopefully not too long. It's not anything major. I'm able to walk and do everything, regular. Just, it's just a little sore.
Just a little sore, no basketball yet, but they're home tonight. They play at Houston on Sunday, and then they're home next week. So hopefully Paolo can get back for some of those home games.
And Franz is protecting that nose.
Franz has the
now.
mask, and you know what? He scored 28 in the mask the other night.
He should wear it all the time.
Yeah, wear it all the time.
Superpowers. Yeah. All right, more news coming up at 9 o'clock on clickorlando.com and the News 6 Plus streaming app. Have yourself a fantastic night and a great weekend.